If you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know one of the ways that I've been making money with sports cards over the past year or so has been in buying sports cards in China on the Chinese domestic market, shipping them to the US and selling them on COMC. Well, in this video, I am going to share with you the results of my first experiment doing it the other way. I bought 316 cards on COMC, sent them to China and auctioned them off in China, and this is the results of that. So as we get into this first batch of cards that I sent, so again, I mentioned it was 316 cards. The cards were generally pretty low-end cards. I think the cheapest card was maybe like 40 cents, and the most expensive was maybe like $25 as far as the purchase price on COMC itself. I specifically was doing kind of lower-end cards because I didn't want to risk doing anything too high for this first batch because I didn't know, like I have some experience sending stuff from China to the US and what to expect like at the border and with customs, but I wasn't quite sure what to expect with the other direction, you know, bringing things into China. So I didn't want to do anything too high price. So just to give you a few details about these 316 cards, the total price that I paid for these 316, including the domestic shipping fee. So basically what I would do is I bought these cards on COMC, I shipped them, I live in China, but I shipped them to my parents in the US and then they shipped them from the US to China for me. So the price of buying the cards on COMC and then the domestic shipping was $1,077.20. Then these cards, my parents sent them to China. The international shipping fee was about $100. So when I do the calculation, that really came into about, 33 cents or so per card. So $100 sounds like a lot, but 33 cents per card does not. The customs fee, there was a customs fee, but it was very small. It was about $7 only. So that was nothing at all. So the total price I paid from the COMC vault all the way to my doorstep in China was $1,185. Then once I had these cards, they went up for sale in 5 or 7 day auctions on the website CardHobby. The way I'm working this, I actually have a partner that I'm working with on a number of different things related to this. So he actually helped me with scanning them and posting them, and he did the shipping. So I didn't have to do a lot of the extra work once it got to me, which was nice. He did most of that, and then he took a little percentage, kind of like a consignment kind of situation. But even with all of that, after the fees and everything that are included, the CardHobby fees and the percentage I paid my friend who did all the extra steps, all the work for me, I made a total of $1,415 from these cards. So that was a total profit, including everything. This includes all the shipping, all the customs, all the everything. I made a profit of $230, which is an ROI of 19.5%. Now, that's actually a much smaller number than I expected to be later because this first batch had a lot of experiments. There was a lot of cards I didn't know what to expect. And there was, again, a lot of lower end stuff, so I wasn't expecting to make a huge amount of profit on each individual card. I mostly wanted to see how this works, if there was anything that I need to know, so when I start doing this more and more and start doing more cards and more valuable cards, if there's anything I need to know about this. And I did learn a lot. So from this 316 cards, there was 238 of them that did make me a profit, and 78 of them in which I lost a little bit of money. But again, now I know much better, like what to aim for. There was certain things I knew would work just because you can look at previous sales on CardHobby. You can see the prices things sell for, have sold for at least. But there was other things that I never saw on CardHobby that I wanted to just kind of try out. And there was other things that I just thought might possibly do well. On eBay, people will look over the last 10 cards. They kind of know what to bid based on the most recent string of sales. On CardHobby, it's a little bit more all over the place. I find sometimes there's certain cards, if they sell regularly, there's something more close to a common price, but there's a lot more cards that sometimes go for way higher and cards that sometimes go for way lower. It happens quite frequently. So I also knew that there was some cards that could fit into that bill. So, I learned a lot about what kinds of cards I want to be aiming for in the future. I'm going to have several of these in the future. I have another batch ready to go very, very soon. It's going to be a larger batch of maybe about 700 cards from COMC that's going to be coming to China within the next month or so. And I think I'll do a little bit better on those ones, and then I'll probably get a little better at this over time. So I'm gonna start doing this thing pretty regularly. There's 316 cards. I don't want to go over all of them, but maybe I will share with you the top 10 cards that made me the most amount of profit. The number 10, this was kind of a cool one. Number 10 was 2008 Upper Deck Exquisite Rookie Signatures of Alex Brink, who you probably don't know who Alex Brink is, but he was an NFL player for a very short amount of time, and he played in the Canadian Football League, and he is actually my cousin's husband. So that was the reason I bought this card originally. I bought several of them, a couple of them just for my own PC, and then a few others to see what would happen. So I bought this one on COMC for about $2, and I sold it for $12. So I made a nice little $10 profit on a super awesome ROI, and the fact that it's my cousin's husband makes that one my favorite of the bunch here. Number 9 was the 93-94 Upper Deck Box Set Hologram of Michael Jordan. I bought for $9, sold for $21 for a $12 profit. Number 8, 92-93 Upper Deck All-Star in a PSA 8 of Michael Jordan. Bought this one for $8, sold it for $20 for a $12 profit. Number 7 was the 2021 Topps Project 70 of Shohei Ohtani. I bought for $14, sold for $27 for a $13 profit. Number 6 was the 97-98 Fleer Ultra Jam City of Shaquille O'Neal. I bought for $6, sold for $22 for a $16 profit. Number 5 was the 2022 Topps Project 70 of Shohei Ohtani and Snoop Dogg, which I bought for $17, sold for $33 for a profit of $17. Number 4 was the 92-93 Upper Deck Slam Dunk Champion of Michael Jordan and a PSA 9. I bought for $25, sold for $44 for a $19 profit. Number 3 was the 2012 Fleer Retro Red Precious Metal Gem of Michael Kendricks. I bought for $6, sold for $28 for a profit of $22. Number 2 was the 2021 Prism Draft Picks Downtown of Josh Green. I bought for $25, sold for $50. And the number 1 was the 2021 Select UFC Octagon Side Red Disco Prism of Jong Wei Lee, which I bought for $15, sold for $42 for a profit of $27. And then a lot of the other cards, like I mentioned, there's 238 cards I made some profit on. Sometimes the profit was very small. And then 78 cards that I lost money on. Most of the time the profit was very small on those ones. I think, because again, most of these were really low-end cards, so there wasn't a lot of room for huge profit or huge loss on any individual card. And that was part of my plan with this first batch, just to see how it all works, and it worked well. So it's at least taught me that this is the continuation of the cycle. I'm gonna see how this works. I've mentioned in the past, so I probably originally had bought about $600 worth of cards from China, sold them on COMC for that 1,000 that I bought these for, and then sold them here, in the US for about $1,400. So really, when I think about the whole cycle, I think basically I turned my $600 into $1,400. Not easy work. I mean, that's 316 cards I had to find. There's a bunch of shipping I had to figure out, a lot of things. So it's, the fact that I made that amount of money for the amount of work I put in is not that much per hour, but for a learning experience for myself and to figure out how this is going to work and how I can kind of expand this over time, this was a great thing for me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Check you in the next one. Peace.